Chrissy's going to the show. Because we'll be on the street and about 3 or 4 other places. I don't know if we work the deal with Jam yet to put it out on them live, but do you have an intro like song?
Yeah, they're gonna play it. And then Megan's gonna say something.
She's part of the intro.
Yeah. Texans, and welcome to Ringo's on the River for our first coaches show in a long time. And we're going to be here every week for 10 weeks on a Wednesday night from 7 to 8 to talk about all things Shriner athletics. My name is Ted Davis. I'd like to thank Michael Bennett and Jared Hyman and Armando and Megan over there for getting this all set up. We're going to be joined by the football coaches in the first half of this show. Keith Allen, head football coach at Shriner University. Shane Hallmark, right now the defensive coordinator. He'll be on the end. And David Jones, the offensive coordinator, will be joining us in just a bit. First of all, we're going to have dollar wings here at Ringo's tonight. So dollar wings. And they have a new menu item here at Ringo's on the river. It's on Junction Highway. You can't miss it. It's the Mountaineer Burger. So the Mountaineer Burger is now on the menu. So all of you out there, Bill Raleigh, order the Mountaineer Burger. Charlie McCormick, president of the university, get the Mountaineer Burger. Casey, get the Mountaineer Burger. All right, so what's on the Mountaineer Burger, you say? Well, it's a patty that has been blackened and seasoned. It's got blue cheese crumble with Swiss cheese, grilled onions, lettuce, tomatoes, and pickle. Dang, I'm in. So that will be on the menu tonight. We are being seen on the Mountaineers.com network, ShrinerMountaineers.com, at Kerr County Lead, and on the worldwide YouTube. They are picking up our streaming broadcast tonight. And I think that I can safely say that this is a first in the history of Shriner University. I don't think there has ever been a coach's show at Shriner that has been streamed on the internet. I'm pretty confident of that. I feel like James Tiberius Kirk, captain of the Starship Enterprise, boldly going where no one has gone before. So the football team will be coming in here in a little bit, and football is back at Shriner University. It has been a while since they played football at Shriner. In fact, the last time that they actually played a game at Shriner was 1957. So a few things that have happened since 1957. We landed on the moon. The Cubs and Red Sox won a World Series and broke curses. The Cubs for not letting a goat into Wrigley Field, and the Red Sox for trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees. The iPhone was invented. Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys for $190 million, and now it's worth $9 billion. Even though 30 years later, without Jimmy Johnson, he hasn't won a Super Bowl. And he is the richest owner in the NFL. All of those things have happened since the last time Shriner played a football game. That was in 1957. So, Keith Allen, head football coach at Shriner University. You're about to play a football game on Saturday.
Yes.
And I want to go back to February of 2025 when you were named head football coach here at Shriner University. You walked into your office.
Yes, sir.
And that pretty much is what you had. You had an office.
Yes.
No players, no coaching staff,
no equipment,
but a clean slate
right.
to build on. So take us from that point in February to where you are now with a team of about 100 players,
right,
practicing every day and getting set for your first game Saturday in Houston.
Absolutely. So when I walked in February, like you said, I had a sheet of paper with about 15 names on it of student athletes that were committed to come play football for Shriner University. From day one, the first thing I did was I got connected with all the high school coaches in the state of Texas as fast as I could. Started to kind of compile a coaching staff, and on top of that, order equipment and projected vision. And with the help of the administration, the athletic department, and basically the entire university and community, within 6 months, we're able to have 100 players on the roster, a full-time coaching staff in place, 2 practice fields, a locker room, a weight room, state-of-the-art facilities that 6 months ago didn't exist.
We're going to talk about Eddington coming up in just a bit. It's the old gym that has now been repurposed into a weight room, locker room for the football team.
Right.
Now, when you sat down to talk about hiring a staff,
Correct.
what were you looking for?
And I was very, very particular and specific in what I was looking for. To recruit the state of Texas, you have to have Texas ties. Fortunately, I recruited Texas as a college coach my last 4 years. I was coaching in the state of Texas as a high school coach, so I knew what I was looking for were experienced, well-established head coaches that were fixing to retire. And, you know, I hit 2 home runs in a row. The local head coach at Tybee High School, David Jones, he was fixing to retire.
Yeah.
And talked him into, hey, why don't you come help me build this program? And he jumped on board at the opportunity. And then I looked back at my old employer, the guy who had hired me the last 4 years. He was retiring. And I asked him if he would like to come out west and join me in Kerrville, Texas to help start a football program. So, you know, I hit 2 home runs between the 2 coordinators and myself. We have over 500 games of head coaching experience, over 300 wins, and a lot of awards amongst us. But the biggest thing is Coach Hallmark has connections with almost every high school coach in the Houston area. Coach Jones has connections with every high school coach in the Hill Country and San Antonio area. So 2 home runs in a row hiring a very experienced coaching staff.
You know, there must be something in the water here in Kerrville, because I came here to retire too. And now I'm working at Shriner.
There you go. It's a great community, you know, and there's so much potential in what we're doing. And there's so much backing and support across the board. It's an easy sell. And I told the university, I was like, if we can get kids and people on campus, our community and campus will sell itself. And obviously, if you think about this, we were able to recruit 100 student athletes with no jerseys, no facilities, not even a schedule really in place for the first 3 years. We're a coaching staff. And we got 100 kids after I got Coach Hallmark and Coach Jones on board. We got over 100 kids to commit to our vision.
And
that's what we're able to do.
And they don't play a varsity schedule the first year.
Right.
So they have to wait a year to play varsity.
Right.
And so that's a real commitment on their part too, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we've been harping with this group right here. If you stay, you will be remembered. We're going to do something. This freshman class right here, when they graduate from Shriner University, there's going to be something special for them, to monumentalize what they have done and what they've accomplished.
Yeah.
Because they stepped in, walking up a bridge that hadn't been built. They're walking upstairs without seeing the next step. That's blind faith and blind trust, and that's a lot to be said about that.
Talking with Keith Allen, head football coach at Shriner University. So that first practice, after February when you had nothing,
right?
You finally had players in pads, ready to work out. What was that first workout like?
It was awful. But but it was exciting because here's the thing. I have a staff of 7 guys, of players of about 100, and nobody's worked together, right?
Yeah.
Nobody to lead anybody but me to try to set the expectations. So it was me getting the coaching staff to see our vision, and then our coaching staff to get the players to see our vision. Meaning, what does a practice look like? How do we do these things? Where do we go for these drills? And what's it look like? What's our standard? What's our expectation? So every day, we're not only trying to coach football, we're trying to coach a standard in a way, a Mountaineer way. We use the word NOS, not our standard. So we had to teach kids what our standards were. And so that first week, we had to come back in as coaches and say, hey, let's realize they're all freshmen. And, there's nobody really leading anybody because nobody knows. And but the kids have caught on really well. We're moving around a lot better. Today's practice, we moved around. Our coaches are in the groove. Players are starting to get in the groove. Classes are going on. So we're starting to get some continuity. And, the kids are starting to figure out what our expectations are.
To build a house, you have to have a foundation.
Absolutely.
And so that's what you're doing, isn't it?
Every day. Every day we are laying it brick by brick. And we're telling them, we're trying to put this brick down as perfect as we can so we can put the next brick down. I tell our coaches and our players this, to go fast, basically say to go fast, you got to go smooth. And to go smooth, you got to go slow.
Yeah.
So,
but that is true. When a running back gets the ball, sometimes it's better to go slow and wait for that blocks to set up than just charge in there.
Absolutely.
In some ways, it's like that in life, too.
Every day, and you also got to think, not only are we setting a standard on the football field, but with 8 coaches and 100 student athletes, we are having to teach a university that's never had football in 50 years what that looks like. How does that impact our university? How does that impact our dorms? How does that impact our cafeteria, our class sizes, our class schedules? All those things matter. And it takes the entire university to get that done. And so we have been moving expeditiously as fast as we can across all facets. And the great thing is the university's open arms.
Yeah.
And we have to do a little bit educating, but it's usually not no. It's usually why and then okay. We don't get no. It's why do we need that? Oh, okay. And then they move on.
I'm trying to imagine the first time you went to the food service people and said, by the way, you've got to feed 100 athletes,
right.
100 more athletes 3 times a day. How did that go?
They were very receptive to things that have worked at other universities.
Yeah.
Here's the first thing: is you've got to expand our food.
Yeah.
Unless if you make dinner from this time to this time and it's a short window, and I'm letting my kids all out at practice at 6:30.
Yeah.
There's going to be a mad rush at the end. But if you extend dinner till 9. Now you'll be able to stagger that flow and be able to feed them all easily.
You talked about knowing Texas high school football.
Yes.
You can recruit strictly from Texas, can't you?
Well, everybody on our roster is a Texas high school.
Yeah.
You do not have to leave the state. We're going to win, and this is what our recruiting static was when we got here. We're going to win the Hill Country. Mm-hmm. We're going to win Cook County. We're going to go west and hit the smaller schools that nobody's going to spend time recruiting. We're going to win south down in the Rio Grande Valley. We're going to win in San Antonio. We're going to dabble in Austin, and we're going to win in Houston because of our connections in those areas. And we're going to recruit really, really hard. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the other D3 schools have to recruit again because some of them haven't had to really recruit very hard.
Right.
And our coaching staff is spending long hours. Making relationships, making phone calls, text messages, writing note cards to coaches and players nonstop.
The relationship with high school coaches is imperative, isn't it?
Yes.
Because they know their kids better than anybody, and you're looking for a unique player. If a player has Division I talent, they're going Division I.
Correct.
If they have Division II talent, they'll go Division II. You're looking for those guys who are football players that can play at Division III, and those high school coaches will know who those players are, won't they?
And again, with what's happened over the past 4 years with the portal and NIL, is high school kids are not getting recruited near as hard as they used to.
Yep.
So 8 years ago, what would have been an FCS football player could be a Division III player because he's not getting those opportunities.
Yeah.
Because a Division I school is not getting a high school senior anymore. You're getting a 3-year college transfer. So that's slowed recruiting down. And with having Coach Hallmark and Coach Jones on my staff that have been dealing with that the last 4 years, they are seeing a lot of kids that they both know should have been Division I guys 5 years ago that are now not getting recruited at all or dropping to Division II or they're just getting overlooked. And we're going to make those connections with those coaches and players early and often. And, I use the analogy, you can't go out with the homecoming queen if you don't ask. So we're going to ask.
Is that what I had to do? No, got it. I just had the conference.
That's weird. Swing. We're going to swing.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Shane Hallmark, defensive coordinator. David Jones, the offensive coordinator, will be along here in a little bit. We're at Ringo's on the river. It's on Junction Highway. You can't miss it. Again, they got dollar wings, and they've got a Mountaineer burger on the menu. So we'll be here for 10 weeks in a row on Wednesdays. So this is the first time we've done this. We'll be doing it for 10 straight weeks. So if you want to come, if you're a Shriner alum, if you're just hanging out in Kerrville and you want some dollar wings and the Mountaineer burger, we'll be here next week too, 7 to 8 on Wednesday. We'll take a break on the Shriner Coaches Show. Back with the assistant coaches right after this. All right, back with you on the Shriner Coaches Show. We're going to call this the Shriner Coaches Show because it will be across all of the sports. And later in the broadcast, we're going to talk to the volleyball coach, Jeremiah Tiffin, who's in his 4th season with Shriner, doing a great job of taking a program that won 4 games before he got here. 2 years ago, they won 20, had a very young team last year, but they're off to a 5-1 start in volleyball. And our first home volleyball broadcast will come up on September 20th at the Events Center right here at ShrinerMountaineers.com. So Jeremiah Tiffin, the volleyball coach, will be with us at the end of the broadcast. Shane Hallmark is the defensive coordinator, longtime head football coach in Texas high school football. So give us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Shriner.
Well, kind of what Keith said, I started in Houston, Texas. I'm from Tyler, Texas originally. I coached in Indiana. I was a student assistant at Purdue. I didn't get a GA job there, so I've got a local high school job there. But like I told you before we met, basketball was king. So I got back to Texas as quick as I could. I got a job in Houston and just kind of worked my way up. Started out in junior high back in 1993. Worked up to Climb Forest High School for head freshman coach. Then I became a varsity coach. Then I became a coordinator. And I got my first head coaching job in 2008 at Hightower High School. We played for a state championship that year. So things happened real fast. I stayed there for 2 years, and I went to Klein High. That's where I spent my last 15 years. And like Keith said, I was going to retire. I was 58 years old, and I wanted to get out while I was healthy enough to enjoy life. And he came in and told me he got the job and offered it to me, and I said, well, I got to talk to the boss at home, and I was worried about that because she had a job she really liked there in Houston at Tomball Junior High, and she said, let's go. You know, we've always been out to hill country. I've got a hunting lease out here. Her uncle had a ranch out here, so we'd always talked about retiring here. So even though we're not retiring, we love being here, and it's been a breath of fresh air for me and my family.
There is a thing called hill country fever.
I love it.
And you get it when you come here? I started coming here in the early 80s to the Kerrville Folk Festival, and I grew up in Lubbock. So anything that had a little ripple in the topography, I loved. So when I retired from the NBA, we knew we were coming back to Texas, and we were like you. Let's go to the best part of the best state. Let's go to the hill country.
We are so happy. My boys love it here. They're both students at Shriner. My son John is a student assistant on the defensive staff. So it's a family deal. You know, they come by my office and eat lunch with me. So I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier.
Okay, now you're in Houston for how long?
25 years.
Okay, do you like Kerrville traffic better?
I definitely like Kerrville traffic better. Definitely. This is all right. I love it. No rush.
I love the fact that you can be anywhere in town in about 10 minutes.
Anywhere you want to go, yeah.
Now we have 2 rush hours. It's about from 5:15 to 5:20 Monday through Friday, and the hour after church on Sunday.
Yeah.
So about noon, and don't go to the HEB at noon on Sunday.
I tried that. Yeah. I tried that.
Describe your defensive philosophy. What do you want to see from your defense?
Well, when I talked to Coach Allen about it, I'm not a real stat guy. Sure, I would love to be the number one defense in the country and all those things. I think the stat that really matters defensively is points allowed. And we really preach with our guys. We may bend, but we cannot break. We cannot bust and break. I want our kids to play hard every snap, be very disciplined, be physical, and run to the football. That's all you can ask for. And we have kids right now that are doing everything we've asked. Their kids are playing fast, and to see the improvement we've made from day one of fall camp to now has been exponentially greater. I tell you, they're really catching on and buying into what we're doing.
Now, it's one thing to play against each other, so you're finally going to see an opponent on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So what are you looking for in that game?
I want to see them turn it loose. I don't want to see them go out there and try to feel the opponent out. I think that's a mistake young kids make a lot of times. They watch film of their opponent for weeks, and then they're always in their mind there may be a little doubt. How good is that guy I got to line up on? Am I going to be tentative, or am I going to go out there and play fast from the start? So I want to see that if we'll come out and play fast immediately. And I think if we do that, that'll show a little maturity in the fact that if we do play fast, it'll give them problems.
Shane Hallmark, defensive coordinator, is with us. I want to bring Keith back in real quickly. You've got 100 players, so at the end of this season, what is the goal for you guys? To find a core group that can move forward?
Absolutely. So what's going to happen is some kids are going to realize where they are on the depth chart, and this is what I say at the end of every season as head coach of every meeting. I say, hey, I bring a team meeting in. Everybody's in the team meeting. All the coaches are in the back, and I say, hey, everybody's got a job to do. If you're a starter and you're happy being a starter, work so hard this offseason to remain the starter. If you're not in the role you want, figure out what role you want. Work so hard to earn that role. The coach's job is to out-recruit every one of you. I was like, my job's really easy. Get rid of any of y'all not doing your job. So that's our job. Our job as coaches is to out-recruit the kids we have. Their job is to not let that happen because they work so hard.
Yeah. Well, that's a life lesson that football can teach you. Because if you get out in the workforce, it's the same thing. You either do your job well, or you're gone.
Correct.
So if you learn that early, that's better, isn't it?
Yeah, the life lesson we told these kids early is, sometimes your best isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes your best doesn't get you that lady you wanted as your bride. Sometimes your best doesn't get you that job. And that's reality, and that's part of life. And what we love about football as coaches is the adversity and the struggles and the trials and tribulations you're going to have are setting up foundational values for your life.
Yeah, it does. So Coach Hallmark.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be recruiting the Houston area, right?
Correct, and all of East Texas. I basically have everything east of 45.
There are so many good players in the Houston area.
A lot of good players.
I mean, that's.
Well, Coach Ornamen's helping me recruit. He's got half of Houston. I've got the eastern side. So we're going to hit it as hard as we can. And, a lot of this is going to be through phones, and because obviously we can't go to every single school, but we're going to get out there. And we've already got in touch with every coach in the area already. I mean, we email 100 coaches a day. So looking forward to that. Never done recruiting before, and looking forward to getting out on the road and seeing these coaches and kids.
Look who joined us at the end. David Jones.
Hello.
Hi, David. David Jones, offensive coordinator. Boy, do people in Kerrville know you.
Well, that could be good and bad.
More good than bad.
Hopefully.
How long? 13 years at Tybee?
13.
So what led you to say, okay, I'm done at Tybee, but now I'm working at Shriner?
Oh, there's several things that entered into that, but Coach Allen was number one. I had a lot of faith and a lot of confidence. He understood how to run the program. I didn't know that experience myself, and felt very comfortable and honored that he had me on staff, and made the decision to join him and make something special.
Coach Hallmark talked about his son coaching, and it's a family thing for him. Your two boys who graduated from Tybee last year initially went to Hardin-Simmons, right? But then they found out you're coming to Shriner, so they stayed right at home.
They did.
So your two sons are on the team.
They are. They're here, and it's been fun being with them a little bit longer. And they want to coach, and I think it's going to be a great experience for them to be part of the program, to see how it's built, how it's put together, and they'll grow a lot from this experience. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
So they want to coach, huh?
That's what they plan on doing.
We all have, my son's here too as a freshman.
Okay.
And he's student coaching just like Coach Hallmark's son is.
Have you told these guys that coaching is tough? I mean, have you tried to talk them out of coaching?
Their mom has. I haven't said too much. They're pretty smart kids. They figured it out.
I remember one time, Pat Riley, who won championships and Hall of Fame coach, we were playing them in Milwaukee one night. And he was with a Miami Heat team that wasn't very good. They had lost like 15 games in a row. And they asked him what he was doing to, win a game. And I said, I'm just trying to win one game. One game. That's all I'm trying to do, win one game. And he said, there are two emotions in coaching, total elation or abject misery. Is that true?
There's probably a lot of truth to that. We probably don't enjoy winning as much as we should. It's hard to win. We need to enjoy that more than what we do.
But when you win, you're thinking about the next opponent. And when you lose, the loss stays with you longer, doesn't it?
Well, and I think these guys can contest it because of our years of experience. We expect and coach for perfection, right? And I don't think there's been a perfect football game ever played. So as a coach, it's real easy to overlook the win because you see all the things your kids didn't do right. And so sometimes we don't enjoy those wins near as much as we should.
Coach Jones, I talked to Coach Hallmark about what he wants from the offense. You're going to play a game on Saturday. You'll have an opponent on the other side of the football in Houston against, it's going to be against Westgate Christian in Houston. So from your offense, what do you want to see after the game on Saturday?
We want more points on the board than they have.
That's it.
However we have to do it, we just want one more point than they have.
In terms of your offense, how's it going to look? I mean, what kind of an offense will it be?
It's going to be up-tempo. It's going to be fast. It's going to be, we think it's going to be pretty diverse. It's going to be spread out. It's going to be exciting to watch. There'll be a lot of great plays made. There'll be some plays that don't look so good. But there'll be a lot of excitement. Young men playing extremely hard, playing extremely fast, and we expect to do well.
Now, you're going to play 6 developmental games this year.
Yes, sir.
And then a varsity schedule beginning in September of next year.
Yes, sir.
Where you'll play 10 games, 5 at home and 5 on the road. So now you have more practice time than game time this year. Practice can be dull sometimes for players. It'll be like a routine.
Right.
So what are you guys doing to kind of freshen that up?
Well, the biggest thing is we're so young. We harp on master the mundane and focus on the fundamentals. But we do a lot of what we call tempo sudden change in practice, so it doesn't become stagnant. Here, we're doing this for 15 minutes, this for 15 minutes. We'll go, hey, one punt up. We'll go, hey, put the ball on the 3. The offense got 3 plays to score.
Yeah.
So we keep challenging our players because that's kind of what happens in a game. Things don't just work, all of a sudden a sudden change, fumble or something. So we have to kind of mimic that in practice. And as a coaching staff, we set the example. The leader sets the culture. So if we're going through the motions, they're going to go through the motions. But if we're excited and we're moving around and we're getting that false energy or whatever you want to call it, those kids bring the same energy.
Keith Allen, head football coach at Shriner University. Shane Hallmark, defensive coordinator. David Jones down on the end, offensive coordinator. I just love the fact that you guys have all been head coaches. Do you lean on them and they lean on you?
100%. I mean, we have coordinator meetings, and that's the reason I brought these guys on. My first head coaching job in college, and I don't know about Shane's and David's, but I was 30-something, 32, 33, and I was one of the oldest guys on my staff, so I had nobody to lean on to get any information from. So when I got this job, knowing it's a startup, knowing I was going to have meetings with the administration to do things, I needed some experienced coordinators that could handle everything, the football part, without me being there. Yeah. When you have a young staff, you can't just delve that over. But with these guys, I don't have to worry. Like, I can say, hey, you guys fix practice today. I was on the radio this morning, and I told these guys, hey, get the practice ready, and they had it all ready. And when I showed up, we were ready to roll. And you can't do that with an inexperienced staff.
One thing unique about Division III is that it really is the last student athlete. So the kids that come here, the athletic is a part of their college experience. The primary goal is to, in 4 years from now, drive off that campus enter with hope, leave with accomplishment.
Right, absolutely.
So what is the process of making sure your kids are going to class, doing what they need to do?
It's called standards and accountability. We hold them to a standard on campus. We've talked a lot about, everything this university has given our football program has not been earned. The $7 million complex, a brand new weight room, that 120 locker room, all the brand new equipment we got. Not one coach or player has earned that. So we talk about earn it every day. Be servant leaders, be leaders in the community, be leaders on campus. We go to church services as a team. We're going, starting Friday, we're doing little Monty programs. So
Okay.
Our football players are going to different elementary every week to interact with the students, however the school sees fit.
So where are you going this week?
Daniels.
Okay, Daniels. So if you got a kid at Daniels, what, 100 football players be coming? How many
We're taking 10 to 15.
10 or 15. Well, it's still a lot.
But they're big compared to the
Yeah.
ones.
But going to class is what they're here for.
Right.
I mean, you've got the ultimate thing, which is called playing time.
Right, absolutely. We're going to partner with our professors and our faculty and our staff. In fact, tomorrow we have a helmet decal ceremony. Our student athletes have gone on campus and invited faculty members, staff, and different people within the role in the university to come to our facility and decal the helmet. And then pray over our lockers because we are a faith-based school.
Yes.
We do have faculty and staff that believe in that. And so it's just ways to integrate it. But like you said, Division III is all about the student-athlete experience.
Yes.
They're paying a premium price for great education,
Yeah.
an opportunity to play a collegiate sport, and to learn the life lessons that come with that. And our job is to hold them accountable and make them see that vision. Like one of our core values as a coaching staff in our coaches meeting says, make them seniors.
Yeah, make up a senior.
Our job is to make them seniors.
And walk across there and get that diploma.
If we make them seniors, I think they
They can do that.
finish that
They'll
part.
do that part. Well, you've talked about the facilities.
Yeah.
And Eddington was the old gym. They built the event center, and it became the old gym. It's been repurposed. It is now a football locker room. It is a weight room. It is a beautiful facility. And you'll be playing at a terrific stadium right here in Kerrville, where Tybee High School plays, Antler Stadium. So we'll talk about the facilities that the Mountaineers will play in, and then a bit later we'll be talking to Jeremiah Tiffin, volleyball coach, whose Lady Mountaineers are off to a 5-1 start so far this volleyball season. I'm Ted Davis. We've got the coaches here. We're at Ringo's on the River. We'll be here until 8 o'clock, and we're back right after this.
So if you want to find a school where you can hide in the corner and not get involved and not be challenged to learn, then go somewhere else. Because at Shriner, we're going to know who you are, and I'm going to expect the best of you. And not only are we going to give you information and cognitive knowledge that you need about the human body and about sport management, we're going to teach you to be a professional. How do you go be successful in your career after college? Well, it's not just getting a degree. It's preparing the social skills, the leadership skills, and the communication skills to be able to navigate society and to navigate your profession.
Goes on the river. My name is Ted Davis, voice of the Shriner Mountaineers. Again, dollar wings here at Ringo's, and the Mountaineer Burger. Again, it is a blackened patty. It's seasoned. It's got blue cheese crumble, Swiss cheese, grilled onions, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles on a bun, and that is the Mountaineer Burger. It will be on the menu now, and we will be back here next Wednesday from 7 to 8 o'clock for another Shriner Coaches Show. All right, so, Coach Allen, I mentioned Eddington, which was an old, I don't want to say dilapidated, but it had seen its better days. And now it is a state-of-the-art weight facility and locker room. I saw it today. It is beautiful. I think it's as good as any Division III program has. So what has that done for you?
Oh, it's amazing. So we've actually, Division III is all about making sure you can make it work within the infrastructure of the university. So when I first got here, I never saw Eddington. I never went in. I never saw the blueprints because I asked 2 questions. I was like, can I make any change orders? And they said no. And I'm like, well, then when it's done, I'll be as surprised as everybody else. I went around our campus because football, the thing that our university wasn't ready for was having 100 players plus players meet every day.
Yeah.
And then break into 8 meeting rooms across, in an ideal world, a football complex, right? So here, we had to go, hey, we got Junkin Theater, Junkin Chapel, beautiful facility. We use that for team meetings. We have all the classrooms. Once Eddington got opened up, now we can drop the divider in that gym. They gave us about 120 chairs, so we can project on those white walls, and we can have our team meetings in Eddington now.
Yeah.
So you talk about transition time. So there's some Division III schools that are been well established that your kids are still walking 4 or 5 minutes between meetings and class or meetings and practice. We've got it almost set up between the fitness center and Eddington where we can do all our meetings right across that football field.
And Coach Hallmark, what has the weight room meant to your players? Because you're talking about a foundation year. Part of that is getting these guys stronger, isn't it?
6 o'clock every morning. So, like Coach Allen said, a lot of our kids didn't go through spring ball, so they hadn't put a helmet on, and some of them hadn't worked out since the end of their senior year in football. So, getting that weight room and having Coach Biggers on staff, who's our D-line coach and our licensed strength coach, he puts them through the ringer every morning. We have 2 lift groups every morning before they go to class, and it's just it's a first-class facility. I'll tell you, I'll rank it up there with anybody's, and we're lucky to have it.
Coach Jones, that weight work is lonely, but games are won in the weight room, aren't they?
You always have to have it. You can't survive without it. So you got to have them ready. And like Coach Hallmark said, Coach Biggers is awesome. Our weight room, weight program is going to be the difference maker for us.
You're going to go to a Division III game. You're going to take the team, and you're going to go see teams that are going to be in your conference. This is the last year of the Southland Conference, not the Southland, the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference for Shriner. And next year they're going to transition back to the American Southwest Conference.
Correct.
There'll be 6 teams that'll play football in that conference. It's a very competitive conference. So you're going to take them to see the most competitive game probably in the conference this season.
Well, I'm not taking our team. I'm taking our administration.
Your administration,
yeah,
that's right.
I'm taking what I wanted our university to know firsthand is what they signed up for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, everybody put this date in your calendar, and we're all going to go so you guys can see what an established football program looks like. Because they need to know that. Because we already know.
Yeah, you know.
So they need to know. So when we start doing these things and we start having to recruit a little bit in the transfer portal and do these things, they'll know. We've got to get competitive. We got to get competitive fast. So to be the best, you got to play the best. But to be the best and play the best, you got to know what the best do to get to be the best. If that makes any sense. So we want to model some of the things, and I want them to see it firsthand.
So you're taking them to Belton. Is it in Belton?
It's in Abilene.
It's in Abilene.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Hardin-Simmons and Mary Hardin-Baylor.
Correct.
And are those the 2 best teams in the conference right now?
Let's just put it this way. Those 2 teams have a 90% win record in conference. They're the only 2 teams in the conference that have a winning percentage record in conference play.
Wow.
And they're both at 90%.
Yeah.
So I don't need to say anything else.
And Mary Hardin-Baylor's won, 2 or 3 national championships
We don't worry about
in
those
Division
things.
III, but they had, I'm just saying, it's a very tough conference.
Absolutely.
So when you play your first game on Saturday
Yes.
against Westgate Christian, what will the game day routine be like?
It'll be a normal game day routine. I mean, right here on this table, you have over 500 games of head coaching experience. We're making a 4-hour trip. We're gonna bus. We're gonna bus in the morning. About halfway, we're gonna have a pregame meal, and then we're gonna drive in. We'll get to the stadium about 2 hours before kickoff. We'll get them stretched and taped and all that good stuff. And then about an hour before kickoff, we have a pregame ritual. It's pretty standard across teams. And then 6 p.m., we kick off. And the great thing about it is all the stuff goes away. You can ask any coach. I've been at, I was on the sideline at San Jose against Ohio State. I was on the sideline at Oklahoma against Nebraska. I was at King's Academy where there were 300 people in the stands, right? And what I found out to be true, at every level of football I've ever coached at, once kickoff happens, you are so focused on what's going on in the field, the rest doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's 11 on 11, it's the same width, same length, and it's football. And I've got great experienced coordinators that are going to be able to control their side of the ball. I think I do a really, pretty good job of special teams and clock management. So between the three of us, I think we, Shane was a defensive coordinator his entire career until he became a head coach.
Yeah.
David was an offensive coordinator his entire career before he became a head coach. I was really a special teams coordinator before I became a head coach. So I've tried to take everybody's best attributes and kind of parlay them together. Chris Biggers played defensive line at SMU. His dad was a strength coach. He's our D-line coach and our strength coach. Cody Zorneman was coached O-line at Division III. So I've got a great coaching staff, core group of coaches that know what game day needs to look like.
Is that your entire coaching staff? Have you named
Those are my full-time guys.
You named them all?
Graduate assistants.
Well, who are they? Give them some.
Give them some love. Well, I'll tell you what, they work their tails off. For what we pay them, they work harder than anybody else on our staff. Chris Lee is our defensive cornerbacks coach.
Yeah.
Tim Leatherman is our safeties coach. And I got Braden Hackmer, he's our running backs coach. And those guys work their tails off, and they do a great job. We talk about having relationships with people. Obviously, I worked with Shane for the last 4 years before we took this job. I actually played for David's brother in high school.
Oh, okay.
We did not know this until, into our relationship. Chris Lee's dad, who's the defensive coordinator I worked for at San Jose State, Chris Bigger's dad was a strength coach at OU when I was a GA.
Okay.
So there's a lot of connections with a lot of these guys. So.
You guys do a lot of work, I know. So what is a typical day for your coaching staff?
No, we show up on game day. I don't know what you're talking about. No. So our coaching staff, so we film practice. We film I think we have 150 clips from today's practice. So, usually right now we're in the office watching in. So, but we're here with you because we love to do this too. Yeah. So in the morning we'll go in the office, we'll study the film, make notes from yesterday's practice. 9:30 we'll have a staff meeting, go over our academics, our travel plan, our today, the next day's practice, recruiting. We'll break. They'll go offense and defense, get ready for practice, and then they'll work on recruiting. They'll watch film, text coaches, text players, email coaches, email players, write note cards. And then, then we have meetings, then we'll practice, and then after practice, they'll watch film and start making phone calls to the recruits. So these guys are working way more hours than they had to, I believe, as ADs and head coaches and campus coordinators in high school. So, but I believe they're liking it. They're not loving it, so.
Fall camp stuff, I gotta be honest. 6 a.m. to 10 o'clock every night, that was rough. When David and I saw that calendar, we're like, are we sure we want to do this,
Coach Allen had 13 months. I thought there were only 12 months in a year. He created another one, so I said, what in the world is going on?
What do we figure we're making $1.25 an hour?
It's about 13 cents an hour.
13 cents an hour is what we make. So,
I figured out pretty early what I wanted to do, and I never felt like I worked. Do you guys ever feel like you're working? I get the sense that you don't.
Never regretted getting up going to work in my life. So
I'll tell you what, these guys, and if we could have videoed some of the stuff us three had to do in the summer, we had nothing, right?
Yeah.
You get this, so we're putting sleds together. Where we came from, we all had people to do that for us.
Yes, I know.
And we were talking, so we got a sled come in and a goalpost. And, they're like, well, I had this guy and I had this guy and we had these guys to do all this. And I was like, well, guess what? We're the guys.
Yeah.
So we went out and they didn't, I'll tell you what, all our coaches, nobody winced one bit. We went to work and did what we had to do to get it ready.
Are all these guys good with tools?
What's that?
Are they good with tools?
These guys are. We got a couple of the younger ones that don't know what they're doing.
They're going to play. There's a master plan to have an on-campus stadium at Shriner University, and it will happen one day, but that's not today, and it's not next season. But you've got the benefit of having a really fantastic high school stadium right here in Kerrville. David Jones knows that well. It's Antler Stadium. Tybee High School plays there. It's right there on Sidney Baker. You can't miss it as you come into Kerrville. That's better than some Division III programs have, isn't it?
100%. We, really quick, we have a great relationship with Kerrville ISD. That we have a great partnership with them, and we're gonna be great stewards of that facility for them. But my goal is sooner than later to get enough excitement in this community, win enough games to get the fundraising to get that stadium faster. Because you want to change a campus, you want to change an environment. Put the stadium on campus right where we're at now, and it'll be an amazing atmosphere.
Yep. When we come back, a little bit later, Jeremiah Tippin will be joining us. We'll have a few more minutes with our coaching staff here. Again, Ringo's on the river, and thankfully, they didn't have any damage from the flood on July 4th. And the water got up the steps a little bit, but never got up here. And of course, we're still recovering from that flood, but Kerrville has been very strong. There have been so many people that have helped out, and my home was damaged, but fortunately we didn't lose anybody. It's things that can be repaired. It may take a while, but I feel otherwise blessed that we came out okay, and that's what matters. We'll be back after this on the Shriner Coaches Show right here at ShrinerMountaineers.com.
Let me tell you, here at Shriner, one of the things we bring to the table are those smaller classrooms. The ability for the professors and the instructors to get to know you personally, understand how you learn, and work with you to get you through these programs and make you a professional. One of the things I tell every freshman class is airlines do not hire co-pilots. They do not hire pilots. They hire future captains. And that's what we strive to do here at Shriners, arm you with the capabilities to go out someday and be the captain of an airliner, the captain of a corporate jet, ready to make the tough decisions and lead your flight to a safe conclusion every time.
Back with you at Ringo's on the River. My name is Ted Davis. This is the first Shriner Coaches Show, and we specifically named it Coaches because there are a lot of sports at Shriner University, and we're going to be talking to the volleyball coach at Shriner in just a minute. His team is off to a terrific start. But again, we'll be here every Wednesday for the next 10 weeks. So it's at Ringo's on the River, right here on Junction. You can't miss it. We're here from 7 to 8 o'clock. On Wednesday, they'll have dollar wings. So come in here. That's a great price. They have great wings. I ate some before. Had some fried pickles. They've got great appetizers. They've got full bar, full menu. So we'll be here every Wednesday. So we'll see you next Wednesday. The Mountaineer Burger is now on the menu. A patty that has been blackened, seasoned, blue cheese crumble, Swiss cheese, grilled onions, lettuce, tomato, pickles, maybe a sesame seed bun. Mountaineer Burger. I might take one home. All right, Jeremiah Tippin, how are you?
Doing good, man. Just loving life right now.
You got here when the program had won 4 games.
That's right. 4 wins the year before I got here, yeah.
Jumped to 11.
Yep.
Went to 20.
Yep.
School record.
Yep.
A little bit of a step back last year in terms of a record, but I remember talking to you last year, and you felt that last year's team actually had more talent than the 20-win team the year before, but you were just so young.
Yeah.
So has that translated into this year?
It absolutely has. You can tell because we are so much more mature than some of the other teams we played because there's no panic when things don't go well. And so, like this past weekend, we did not play well. But as we tell our players, it's not, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And so we've been battling and fighting, and so when something doesn't go our way, we don't panic, we stay with the course, and all those years of reps are coming into fruition right now, and that's why we've started out as strong as we have.
Yeah, you're 5-1 to start.
Yeah.
Still got a long way to go. You've got your conference season to go through. Colorado College is tough. There's some very good teams. But what has been the key to your 5-1 start?
I think the key so far has just been how every single person on our team has been bought in. And we spend so much time on this. Like the analogy that we use is if you plant a sequoia seed and a potato seed at the same time, or a potato at the same time, the potato is going to grow quicker. But it's not going to grow as big and as strong. And so we've stayed the course and worked on these just repeatable things. And our players know that there's some drills that they hate, that they absolutely hate, but they get so much better because they do it. And so they're just bought in with all the things they're doing on the court, off the court. All the pieces matter. And so it's slowly starting to come together. And it took us all of last year and last offseason to figure it out. But now that we have, the results are starting to show.
With this, so what are the drills they hate?
You can ask our middles this. There's one where we have our setters on one side, toss them, and the setters have to set outside or right side, and our middles have to react. And they can't be wrong. They can be late, but they can't be wrong. And they get fooled all the time because our setters are pretty good. They can be deceptive. And they hate it, but it works so well. And now all of a sudden our team is a much more improved blocking team than we were the past few seasons. This might be our best blocking team ever at Shriner. And that helps so much because now we don't have to play 30-second rallies. We can play 5-second rallies. Serve, block, done. Let's go, 1-0, and go to the next one.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I love it.
I have loved doing volleyball, and I'm amazed at how good a shape your kids have to be in, and how much leaping and jumping they do. Do you ever track like the amount of energy expended by your volleyball team? Is there any way to track that?
You know, I have in the past, and we can monitor, like you can get something that monitors their jumps, and we've had girls that have jumped, 200 times in a practice, and when you start max jumping, it adds up. But we just basically plan our stuff so it's short bursts, all stuff that helps us in games, and it's something that we monitor for sure. But we've been fortunate enough that because of our monitoring, we've been fairly healthy. And so I think that's part of the reason, just watching all those jumps and putting them in situations where they can just be explosive and not have to worry about the long-term stuff because we're taking care of it.
This is your fourth year.
Fourth year, yeah.
And I looked at your roster the other day because our first game is going to be on September 20th at Will Do. First home game, September 20th. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking down the roster, and you have much more size now than you've had before. It's like a basketball team. You can't coach size. You either have it or you don't. So what does it mean to have more size?
Well, first of all, I love having women on our team that are taller than me. I absolutely love it, right? Maybe my wife's 5'2.5", but that's not going to work for volleyball. And so I absolutely love it. And when we go to banquets and they get dressed up in there in heels, it's even better. But it's nice walking onto the court and being like, okay, both of our right sides, our starting right sides, 6'3" and about 6 feet. Our mids, 5'11", 6 feet. Our outside, same thing, 5'11", 6 feet. There's no one that plays in our front row that's in our starting lineup or even our rotation that's shorter than 5'10". And athleticism is great, but height is that little extra advantage that you need. And now we're starting to match up with those top teams, and that's where we want to be, consistently with those top teams that are in the NCAA tournament.
Another player that I really enjoy watching who's not tall is Jenna Palmeraz.
That's right, yeah.
And she's small, but she is good at digs, and she is also your best server, isn't she?
Let me tell you something about Jenna. Jenna is 5 feet tall on a good day. And sometimes we call her 4'12" just to make it even better for her. But she's one of our top 2 servers. She goes on serving runs all the time, and she's our best passer. And she's locked it down. We're at the point where other teams don't serve her because they know she's that good. And I'm just so blessed to have her. It's her 4th year in the program. She's a senior. She knows what to expect. She knows what to do. And I mean, coach can tell you, when you have seniors, it's so much easier to coach because you put in the work and they know what to do, and you can just help them guide them instead of holding their hand.
When you get into conference play, you don't have to face Trinity anymore. I know nobody's sad that Trinity has gone to another conference, but you'll still have Colorado College and some good competition. So what will be the key your conference play to get to the conference tournament?
I think, we host the conference tournament this year. You host it? We do, yes. November 15th.
Then I'll be doing it.
Absolutely. It'll be great.
This is news to me.
Yeah, it's Friday and Saturday, November 15th and 16th.
Okay.
So we host it, and that's going to be a really good thing. The way that everything's set up is we have 2 divisions in the SCAC, and our division is extremely more difficult than the other side, which is fantastic because that means we get to play tough teams all the time. And we know that iron sharpens iron. And so we're not playing these weaker teams. We're playing a Colorado twice. St. Thomas is 8-0 and undefeated. We're playing them twice. Concordia started the year 4-0. We're playing them twice. We're playing all these good teams. And so I think we can hang with them, but it's going to get us ready for conference, and it'll be great.
Is this a golden age for volleyball now? Because volleyball games are on ESPN.
Right.
college teams are selling out football stadiums to watch volleyball. That's got to help you, doesn't it?
It's so huge. I mean, the fact that, like the Nebraska game selling out the football stadium. You had a game last night between two top 15 teams on TV. It's all over the place. It's on Sunday afternoons against the NFL. Like, if they didn't think people would watch, they wouldn't put it on. And so just all these young women being able to see that this is what they could be and this is what they could do in college, it opens up so many more doors. It gets people more interested in volleyball.
Jeremiah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's always good to be here, Ted.
Look forward to the 20th.
Absolutely. Love to see you there.
Watching your teams play. So, Keith, we got about 4 or 5 minutes left.
All right.
Let's circle back to your game Saturday.
All right.
Your first developmental game. I know you want to win. I know you want to have more points on the scoreboard.
Right.
But when you break down the film the next day, and I know you guys will, win or lose, what will you be looking for?
Number one thing is our kids lining up right. Alignment, assignment, execution, and effort. Are they lined up right? Do they know what they're supposed to do? Are they executing to the best of their ability? And are they giving fanatical effort? If we do all those things and lose a game, we can sleep good at night. We use the analogy, change the player, change the player. Meaning, I'm going to give you the opportunity to change yourself first. And if you don't do that, then I'm going to change it and put a new player in your spot.
Right.
So what we're really looking for is, are we better, once we start playing more games, are we better last week than we were this week? Are our kids understanding our system better? Because like Coach alluded to is, when you have seniors to lead the way, that learning curve is so much faster. And that's why I was telling you, like, we've been here 4 weeks, and that first week was just like pulling hair out because nobody knew what our standards were, our expectations. So it was a lot of just getting to understand things. And that's going to be week 1 because the team we're playing, this is going to be their 3rd game of the season. And every coach will tell you, I don't know if it's all sports, but for football, the biggest improvements between week 1 and week 2. And then between week 2 and 3 is we start finalizing what you're going to look like as a football team. So we're going into week 1 with nobody that's ever played a college football game. And a couple guys have never coached a college game. We're not trying to tell them, coaching football is coaching football. If you're good with the X's and O's and understand the game, it doesn't really matter what level.
You've got a new program, and part of that as a head coach, because you have many roles as a head coach, is to sell the program to the community.
Right.
You've talked about going to the elementary schools. What is that process like? To selling Shriner football so that next year, in September, when they play at Antler Stadium, you can put butts in the seats.
And the coach will tell you this as well. Selling our product is easy because we believe in our product.
Yeah.
So it's nothing different than recruiting. You are putting in a product, and what you want to show is there's value in what you're bringing to the community. And that's why we're getting our student athletes involved. That's why we're doing those things. We've got to be good citizens. We've got to be good stewards of our time and our resources. We've got to be servant leaders. And that's how you get buy-in from the community. Because if we were great and we just stayed great within the Shriner walls, Kirk County wouldn't understand and wouldn't really know much. But our school, our university, our president believes in opening the doors, hosting a ton of events on our campus for our community. And those are things that we got to build on. From an athletic department, from every sport, every head coach is how can we intertwine our product, our great university, with this awesome community.
I go on campus every day to work out at the Mountaineer Fitness Center, and this summer, I saw more activity on campus this summer than any summer since I've been here. A lot of camps were on the campus. So is there plans to have a football camp?
We had one already.
Oh, you had one already?
Yeah, we had 200 kids.
Okay, well, see, that's what I mean.
I had 0 facilities to show them.
But how'd that go?
It was awesome. It was, again, kids love to be the start of something.
Yeah.
You can go, there's 2 ways to look at it. Go to a program that's already established and just follow somebody else's jersey number. Or go somewhere to establish a program and be the jersey number that sets the standard. So that's how we sell our program. Is you can be the first of so many things. This game Saturday. Hopefully, it's just a bunch of good firsts. First
rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, taking a knee, winning the game. All those things will be first for us. And you got to just find those kids that want to do that. And that's pretty easy stuff.
And it starts at 6 o'clock on Saturday. So I want to thank everybody that was here today. I'd like to thank Shane Hallmark. I'd like to thank David Jones, offensive, defensive coordinator. Thanks to Keith Jones, our head football coach. Thanks to Michael Bennett for getting us on the air. Jared Hyman over there behind the booth. Megan, who set it up. Who's over there? Tyler Wells is over there. Armando is over there. Cast of thousands to get this thing going. We'll be back next Wednesday, right here again, a week from today, 7 to 8. Ringo's on the River. Again, if you come in, you can have a beer, you can have a Coke, you can have water, whatever you want. They have dollar wings when we're here on Wednesday. And again, I want a Mountaineer burger next week. Order the Mountaineer burger. This has been the first of what we hope will be many, many, many Shriner Coaches shows right here at ShrinerMountaineers.com, at the Kerr County Lead, and on YouTube. I'm Ted Davis, voice of the Mountaineers. We'll see you next week at Ringo's right here at ShrinerMountaineers.com.